It's almost safe to say that everything that I would have learned in school in American history has been filtered before it got to me. And when did that start happening?
American history has been filtered to remove religious and moral history, traditional values, patriotism. A lot of that is gone. We've turned American history into a victim history. We start finding people that are victims, that were mistreated, and that did happen. But that again was the exception rather than the rule. Even though it happened to people groups, it still was not what dominated the entire span of 4 centuries of American history. What ended those atrocities were religious folks getting involved, were preachers getting involved, were churches getting involved. We don't talk about that. I guarantee you in our American history textbooks we will all learn about the Salem witch trials where 21 were put to death by those religious Puritans in Massachusetts. What we will not learn about is the abolition movement that was started by ministers. We won't learn about the first, second, third Great Awakenings. We'll learn about none of the 6 religious revivals. We will also not learn about the fact that even when 21 were put to death in New England for the witch trials, in Europe, in that time, in the witch trials in Europe, over 500,000 were put to death in Europe. We will also not study the fact that the witch trials in America were brought to an end when 2 preachers of the gospel went to the civil leaders and said, this is wrong. What you're doing is wrong and needs to stop. So it's preachers that brought the witch trial to an end in America. On top of that, the judge who was in charge of the witch trials went into church and repented openly and renounced what he had done and said, I was misled, I misunderstood, this is not what God wanted. See, what we do in American history is we show the bad side, but we don't show the other side that's there. And so what we've learned in American history is really a rewritten history. It's not reflective of what actually happened. Well, it is reflective of incidents that happened, but it's not reflective of the tone that happened, particularly when it comes to traditional religious and moral values, when it comes to elements of patriotism, when it comes to elements of inclusion, when it comes to black history.
In the classroom of our nation's history, Americans are increasingly taught opposing views of founding presidents, such as George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. Were our nation's founders truly men of moral and religious character? And what role, if any, did their religious faith play